Yeah. Why do people say I'm toxic as if it's appealing? That's a good fucking question. All right. I'll answer this to the best of my ability. Because people want to justify reasons to stay the way the fuck they are, knowing that it's causing havoc, knowing that it's causing pain. It hurt people like to hurt other people. You know what I mean? I feel like that's one reason for it. It could be people are lazy. They really are just don't know any better. They're ignorant as fuck. Like they don't see, like when a girl says like, I'm crazy as hell. Or I'm toxic. I know I'm toxic. If you know you're toxic, then why don't you do something about it? You know what I'm saying? It's like you have a sickness, but you don't want to do anything about it. You just want to ride the fucking sickness. And I guess the COVID is probably the best example for that. For like when someone, with somebody having a sickness, and it can be easily absorbed by its peers and possibly kill them. You know what I mean? Like that toxic, you have to take accountability for your actions. You know what I'm saying? You got to take accountability for your actions and who you and what you're doing, and seeing the toxicity. It took me a while, man. It took me so fucking long, to ultimately get it that I was the toxic one. Don't get me wrong. There was some toxic motherfuckers around me. But to learn that you're one of them is like, it's almost like you're so unforgivable to yourself. Like you might forgive others, and some you might not ever fucking forgive, but it's hard to forgive yourself. You know what I mean? And I think that, yeah, we gotta understand that we are toxic. We gotta understand that we do got some shit to change that will probably better ourselves to make us be a little bit more healthy from a mental standpoint, and be able to admit when you're wrong, shit like that. I mean, but if you don't see it, you're not gonna see it while you're in it. It's gonna take something drastic may have to happen in order for somebody to be like, you know what, damn, I was on some fucked up shit. So I feel like you probably just wanna listen to your peers a little bit. People that you trust, though, because there's some people that try to bring you down and all that shit. But you got to be mindful of who the fuck is around you, because not everybody around you is for you. They're for themselves, and they're also for trying to use you to get what they want. So you just got to be mindful, mindful as much as possible, because yeah, people do corrupt shit. They just do, man. And you motherfucking empaths that want to feel sorry for everybody, especially how I was, wanting to save every goddamn body. Narcissists prey on that shit. They prey on it. They see you caring. They know that they can get certain shit out of you, and they're going to find a way to get you and use you for your powers. And it's going to leave you drained. You understand what I'm saying? That's how you can tell the difference. If somebody comes into your life, right, and you're helping them, and then you feel drained from helping them, that's an attachment. If somebody comes into your life and you help them, and then you feel like energy from them being in your life, that's a connection. You want more connections, less attachments. The process of trusting others, after you've been betrayed by those closest to you, you have to learn to love yourself more. Ultimately, you got to take responsibility for your actions, because there's no guarantee that they're going to take responsibility for theirs. You don't have control over that. The only person you have control over is you and how you respond to shit. So the process is knowing who you are, finding who you are, learning to be more authentic with yourself as the days go by. It's not easy. It's going to be a lot of tears. It's going to be a lot of pain. You're not going to know who is who, especially when it comes to somebody as close, like like a parent, or even like let's say your brother or your sister, even your children, whatever, it's gonna come at you, and you're going to be you're gonna be in a position where it's like, why does this shit keep happening to me? Because our first impulse is to make shit about us. You know what I'm saying? We don't tend to think about, was it the other person, that actually, like, that did the thing. We think it's something about us is the reason why we keep getting hurt or whatever. What you're allowing, yes, that is something about you. That's a choice that you allow that shit. But that person doing what they're doing that shit because they're coming from pain. A lot of people are in pain and they don't want to admit that. They just think this shit is normal or whatever. But we got to be able to, again, self-reflect and see, hey, am I doing shit wrong? Have I done some really bad things in my life that have caused pain to others, and I just didn't give a fuck? Yeah, it happens. None of us are immune to the idea that we've hurt somebody. I feel like we just got to be straight with ourselves. We got to be raw and honest, and then you got to forgive your fucking self. Like, don't beat yourself up. Learn from your mistakes, and I say that as I'm talking to myself, because that's what I have to do. I have this habit of feeling like I'm unlovable, and that I'm not worthy of the type of love that someone is trying to give to me. So I'll give that Hadouken, you motherfucker back up, some shit like that. It's because it's not familiar to me, So we just gotta learn how to treat ourselves better. So in the process of learning to trust again, you have to learn to trust yourself. And once you trust yourself in situations, you'll feel so much better by the time you get around other motherfuckers. But we got to learn to love ourselves a little bit better. I mean, some of us never loved ourselves before, didn't know you had to. And then others just didn't love themselves enough. So work on loving yourself. Work on trusting yourself. And eventually that sets the tone for everybody else. And then hopefully you'll be able to recognize certain traits in people and be able to trust them. Okay. What do I want most out of life? Boy. Ultimately, what I want most out of life, and I mean this in all seriousness, is peace. And I feel like peace is something we all should strive for. Be it if it means having healthy relationships with your parents, healthy relationships with your family as a whole, healthy relationships with your friends, healthy relationships at work, healthy relationships all around. You know what I mean? If it's like going somewhere and being able to communicate with somebody, even if we have a disagreement, and not have it get down to like we're fighting on some shit. But like being able to be like, hey man, this is how I felt when you did that shit. You know what I mean? And I feel like, I just want peace, man, honestly. From myself and within, peace within is what I mean by that. But that, of course, I'm not able to control anybody else. No, we're not able to control anybody. But having peace within your life and being like, man, I can communicate my feelings, no problems, without judgment, without somebody dismissing how I fucking feel, or and wanting to heal. And ultimately, that's what I feel like peace is. Peace is healing. And once you heal, you can obtain peace. And being able to be who you are, doesn't matter who you are. I mean, just because somebody's like lifestyle doesn't line up with yours, doesn't mean that you should judge them. That's just not for you. You don't have to say, oh man, that's stupid. That you like to do whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like for those who want to be in, what's this new term? Fuck up. A throuple. If somebody wants to be in a goddamn throuple, let them throp. All right. If you want to be in a couple, let them cup. If you want to cup, do that. Just stay away from the kids' cups. No molestation, none of that shit. No kid cups. We want, grown folks with grown folks, And kids don't need to be dating shit. We're too young to deal with those type of emotions, or at least need to learn how that shit. That's why it's important for us to teach to love our kids early on as possible, and and try to learn from your fucking mistakes and what we do as parents and shit. We're not always right. We can admit when we're wrong, and it teaches them, and then they'll grow up to admit when they're wrong. It's a bitch, man, learning to to apologize, like sincerely apologize for shit that you know you did wrong, and that shame sits on you. And but it's a learning process, I think. So I mean, ultimately, peace. I want peace out of life. That's the one thing I want most. Materialistic things, that's ego. The ego feeds off of that, But like, to have motherfucking peace, in peace. I don't want it in pieces. I want it in peace. I want a whole piece of peace. I want to heal and be able to help others heal, and others to have peace. I'm not able to change anybody, but I could show them. I can lead by example by putting peace into my own life, and then maybe they'll want that for themselves. So ultimately, what I want most out of life, peace.